Hi, welcome to Insidebikes. I'm Paul, this is Phil, and we are going to talk today about the rise, something I think we're seeing a lot more of in 2025, automatic motorcycles.
Ooh, very much so. There's not just a new Yamaha, the Y-AMT thing, there's a new BMW. This is where we get into lots of acronyms and get trip over ourselves. There's a BMW one, which I think is called ASA.
ASA, Automated Shift Assist.
That's the one, but also, and then there's the KTM, which is called AMT, not Y-AMT, which is the Yamaha one. And that's before we get on to DCT, which is the Honda one, which has been around now 15 years or so. So it's happening, guys, whether you like it or not.
I mean, I'm excited about this because I'm a shorty, so I always have this dance when I ride a tall bike, like adventure bikes, where I've got to put my left foot and you've got to change gear. So for me, it's like, it's brilliant. I think it's great. And I think I get it. Like years ago, automatics were hydraulics. They were so slow in changing gear.
Hondamatics.
You get automatic cars now, and to be honest, automatic's almost the default option in a lot of ways.
It pretty much is.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to riding the Yamaha Tracer this year, because that's my kind of bike and my kind of thing. Yamaha were a bit kind of bold, and they launched that on the MT-09,
yeah.
which was kind of a big statement from them.
Yeah.
I haven't ridden it.
Ooh.
You did?
Yeah. I was sceptical too. I've ridden DCTs for years, and they're on big VFRs or cross runners or whatever and stuff like that. On the smaller bikes, they seem to make sense because NC 750X is a bit like a big scooter, that sort of stuff. So I got that. And now zoom forward to now, and Yamaha's come out with this Y-AMT, which I like to call YMCA, just to annoy them, but Y-AMT. It's basically a mechanical system that bolts onto the existing CP3 engine. And I thought, well, if I'm riding an MT-09, they put it on their performance bikes, in other words, and making a point about this can work on performance bike and give you a thrill. And I rode the bike on its launch a few months ago, and it works. And I'm a skeptic, and it works because, firstly, two things. One, you don't have to be in fully automatic. You can be in, it's got this lovely, very tactile flipper system on the left bar where you can either do it on your finger or do it like that. I don't know if you can see that, but like that. And it just works, and that works whatever mode you're in. So it's almost like being on a PlayStation or whatever. It's like an arcade game, and you can still change gear exactly where you want it. Great. And if you don't want to do that, you just flip it into fully auto mode or drive mode, I think there's a D on it, and it becomes a bit like a scooter. And I found myself using it when you roll into a 30 limit into towns and stuff. Oh, okay, not riding hard now, we're just cruising. Do auto, and just switch off and start thinking about the weather and which shop you're going to go to. And that impressed me because I didn't think I would feel like that.
I saw the first press release drop, and they didn't say what model it was going to be, they just said they were introducing it, and I thought that's going to be a Tracer all day long. That's what it feels like it's built for.
Which it sort of is.
But now you've got MT7, and you can see where they're going with it. They're trying to make motorcycling more accessible, and I think that's fantastic. Everyone else seems to have the same vibe. We're going to see it on a couple of BMWs, I'm sure. You've ridden the GS?
It's already on the GSA, and I think it's optional on other ones, but certainly on the big 1300 GSA. And that, again, is impressive. Unlike the Yamaha system, there is still a foot gear lever, but not a clutch. And in a way, I found it even with the Yamaha one, you sort of, when you're in semi-automatic mode, you sort of engage with it, and that's the appeal of it, because you're still riding it and engaged with it, thinking about gear change. With the BMW one, it's more relaxing, more almost like because if you're in semi-automatic mode, you just forget the clutch lever and just stomp up and down to the gears, and it's fine, which you sometimes do anyway when the clutch just shifts. And in fully automatic mode, it just does it when you want. So it makes it easier, which I suppose is the whole idea, but also didn't take over as much of my brain as the Yamaha system did. So it felt more instant and natural to get on with. So again, I was impressed.
My point of reference is DCT. Honda DCT has been around ages. It was pretty good to start off with. It's really, I mean, I think it's a great system, the DCT. This is simpler, lighter, cheaper. How do they compare? Is the DCT
well, the
still
DCT is, as the name, it's dual clutch. It's a completely different transmission. Whereas the BMW and certainly the Yamaha, it's basically just a mechanical system with lots of clever electronics bolted onto the CP3 engine. So it just does the clutch for you, it just does the shift for you. So it's in a way quite an anachronism, quite clunky, but actually it works so well, it's not, certainly with the younger generation, they won't think twice about it. I mean, I'm old school, so I came into it thinking, I like changing gear and choosing exactly when I change gear, and why do I need that one? Especially on a sports bike, on MT-09, Tracer, whatever. But once you tried it, think, that works.
I totally get it. You ride bikes more than me, you're taller than me, you're bigger than me. I think I can see it definitely appealing to people, certainly at the more entry level of motorcycling. It's going to take something out of motorcycling, the not so good stuff out of it, but keeping the good stuff out of it.
But at this stage, it's still an option. You don't have to. Exactly, all of these bikes are available manual still. And I agree. I think it's for the younger generation mostly. because it's the norm. Cars, as you say, they're all automatic these days, or semi-automatic and stuff. So when my kids' generation go in, they'll be thinking, what is this anachronism with a clutch lever and a gear lever and stuff? And it's natural to us, but to this generation, certainly less so.
Talking about next generations and automatics and the future and stuff. Automatics, electrics, the original automatics, they haven't really taken... I think this is a really crucial year coming up for the electric motorcycle industry because the market just doesn't seem to be coming to them.
Well, to be truthful, I think it's the case in cars more and more so as well. There's been stuff in the news about car buyers, electric car makers asking for government help and so forth. But anyway, bikes. I've always been a bit of a skeptic. I think basically nobody needs to own a bike. Their choices, they're posh toys or whatever. And most bikers still are older types like me or you, not quite, and they're buying them as weekend pleasure things or travelling things or stuff that reminds them of their youth or whatever. They're leisure products. That covers loads of things, not just performance and freedom, but also images and brands and all that sort of stuff. What I struggle with is senses, smells and sounds and thrills and all that sort of stuff. And I still struggle with the fact that electric bikes don't really deliver that. They don't have the brand heritage, they don't have the smells, they don't have the sound, they have acceleration, they have cleanliness, I'll give you that, but they also have very high prices.
Yeah.
So as a premium enthusiast machine, you know, when you're talking about something that's £20,000 plus and as a limited sensory thrill, I struggle with it.
Yeah, see, I mean, I think I'm different to you, but I'm a big fan of electric motorcycles. I think you put one of those big Zeros or Energicas, as it were, in sport mode, twist the throttle. They are phenomenal. And I think a lot of the criticism that people put at them, range, charging times, for most of the people, I don't think it's such a big deal. I'm not saying it's not a thing for some people. It's price.
The price is...
You know, like the Zero DSRX, one of my favourite bikes. I really enjoy riding that bike. I think the Serenity is part of the charm of it. But it's multi-strada, top-end GS money, not Tracer 7 money. That, for me, that's where they're at.
Which I don't quite get. And also, again, beyond that, I think when you buy a 20 grand bike or whatever, you park in your garage, you have a cup of tea, coffee, and you have your mates over, you talk about it. I don't think the electric bikes appeal in that sense either, to most people. You know, if I've got a multi-strada, what have you got, mate? Multi-strada, 160 brake horsepower, V4, it looks like you can tinker with it on weekend. If you've got your DSR-X in there, so what's that then? It hasn't quite the same, to most people, the same sort of...
I think to our generation, but I want to bring this together because we talked about automatics, trying to bring new people in.
Yeah.
Electrics, I think it's a really critical time for the electric bike industry. What do you think 2025 in a year's time?
Well, I say, I may sound like a doom monger with electrics, but remain positive, and I can see the appeal with lightweights and commuters and ULEZ zones and stuff like that. In London, complete sense. I'd have a Maving tomorrow with a big lock, or delivery riders or whatever. All that sort of stuff makes perfect sense, and that can be equivalent, up to A license equivalent, up to 35 kilowatts, or cheaper or whatever. And I don't see why they can't stamp them out and keep everybody happy. Be efficient transport, plug them in, great. So it's above that.
We did during the pandemic. We did see even the likes of Super Soco and New. They seem to have fallen off the scale a little bit. We rode that Maving for the channel in the summer. Great, it looks amazing. I've never ridden a bike. I think that more people have stopped and gone, "What's that?"
You see people going like that.
It looks cool. It's not the most practical thing, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
But it feels like even the smaller stuff, they're struggling to get.
Well,
adopted.
again, I think part of that is because the big boys haven't got on board yet. When we see credible Yamahas, Hondas, whatever scooters, they're 125 equivalent or maybe 300 equivalent electrics, and they can price well with a universal battery pack or charging system. Yeah, I can definitely see that. But it's not here yet.
Well, we could have this debate all day long. If you're watching this, give us your comments below. What do you think about automatic motorcycles? What do you think about electric motorcycles? Let us know in the comments. It'd be great to hear. Do you want to see more content about that during the year? Do you want to see less content about it during the year? We're here for you. Thanks for watching. Until next time, enjoy.